we are live here, still at Mount Olive, Sunday afternoon, talking to tpope. Now, y'all remember tpope from another episode, but this time we're not talking about music. We're talking about a book. Yes. This man that wrote a book. Tell us about the book.
The book is entitled A Table in Heaven, and basically it's stemming from these two dreams that I had maybe like 7 years ago in my life when I was around 25. And from these two dreams, it kind of, I would say, restructured how I was living, a life pleasing to God. So it kind of turned me away from how I previously was living, you know, being just, you know how it is, you know, you go through life and life builds a story in your head and you just kind of lose your way. So in the midst of me being lost or losing my way, those two dreams happened when I was about 25, and it kind of altered the way I live now as far as a life pleasing to God.
Now, I was reading a book. I don't want to get a book away because I want people to buy it. But I like how you talked about who you were. Talk about Uniontown. You talked about how you grew up, how you saw things. Talked about your auntie that used to scare you. Yeah. Then you fell in love with it. But I want people to understand that people think we're limited, being that we're from the Black Belt. Your book tells us that we're not. How is that possible?
Basically, it's possible because that's the story I feel I see all the time. I've lived it. I mean, I hear about it all the time. Most of my friends are guys or people I work with. Like, just throughout the years, I just so much being just accumulated of this barrier, like we can't cross. Like we were born in a certain environment, a certain scenario, whatever, and this is all you're supposed to do. And for me, I just came to this place, you know, the conversation, dialogue with God. Like I used to have it all the time. Like, this can't be it. Like, this, I refuse to believe that's it. And then I feel like he just brung it out of me, like, you right. This is not it. And you can do exactly whatever it is that you want to do. Or if you just believe in what I'm telling you, you can do more than what you think you can do. So I took that approach now, and I'm just using it.
Can you tell somebody that may be like, man, that sounds like too much work? You know, nowadays, people our age, you know, they woke. They woke now. Everybody woke, you know what I'm saying? Everybody watch the Illuminati videos on YouTube. So everybody all of a sudden woke. So how could you talk to a young person that watching these shows like, man, I hear what he's saying, but that God still sound like too much work?
Well, it is work. I'm not going to take now. It is work. But here's the thing. You know, and subconsciously, you working already. I mean, the life that you're living right now, if you're thinking about it, you putting in a lot of work. You put in a lot of work. It takes a lot of work not to even want anything. It really does. You may think that you're not trying to achieve nothing, to pursue something, but that takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of work.
It takes a lot of work to do nothing.
It takes a lot of energy to do nothing.
I like that. I'm still
if you notice, just look around in your circle at someone who's not doing anything, I guarantee their energy level is down most of the time, and they're not hitting a lick at anything. So when it comes to God, yeah, it takes work, but it just builds character. It's who you are anyway. Most of the time, we just don't do it because we're not used to it or used to seeing it.
Now, you talking about, you know, your faith in God, and you talked about when you actually got to that table in heaven. But then you, in the book, what I like, and I talked about this on my live, and that is, you could have went the other way. You could have went to the church, like these woke folk, you know, these church people acting all that. I went to the church, I was mid-tree, I ain't going back. You had that experience. Why didn't you change your mind?
I just felt like, man, it comes a point in your life, like, we have sins. And just like I make mistakes, so someone can come across me the wrong way, and if I'm not careful, if I act too quick, I can, you know, take him or her the wrong way. So I looked at that like, okay, they just made a mistake. Come on, man, you got to give people second chances. That's how I feel. So that's where I think that really helped me to return. Like, okay, maybe they made a mistake. Let's try this again. Now, if it happens again, then it's something else. But that's what helped me to kind of go back to that church for their experience when they shut the door in my face, and I didn't know. They didn't know. So I'm glad I played it out that way.
Now, we have a lot of young men that gravitate to you here in our church, and part of it because I think you keep it 100. I want our young men, and I do have a lot of young men that send me inbox messages on shows that they watch, to understand how important this is. How important it is to Not just read a book, but go from a reader to an author.
From a reader to an author. That's what you said. A reader to an author.
From a reader to an author. You went from a reader. You read other books, and now you're an author.
That's the thing. I'm transparent. I'm 100, and that's what people seem to love about me. But even to the book, to writing a book, I wasn't a big reader.
Okay.
So first off, the reactions I'm getting right now, oh, he's so intelligent. Now I'm not telling you I'm ignorant or nothing like that or dumb. But they say, oh, he's so smart, he's so intelligent. No, it ain't. I'm not that deep. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like you, and I'm so transparent with it, like for real. So, be honest with you, I started reading books maybe a year ago.
Wow.
I'm just saying, I had felt the urge to just read books and know more. So I read a couple of books, and then a year later, I wrote my own book. So reading those books, it just opened I opened the avenue as a tpope. You could do the same thing. You have a story, and to you that's watching, you have a story. And I tell people all the time, your testimony has to be real in order for people to be delivered from it. So I don't mind telling my story, and there's no embarrassment from me. None. You read this book, you will see. And this is just a hint. Yeah, this is a hint of of my life. If you sit and have a dialogue with me, I can tell you more.
Because I'll give it that was gonna be my thing when I get close to the end. But since we're there now, it's like I want some more. Like I want that's to me that's a good book. A good book is like, okay, what else happened? You know what I mean? Right. So is it gonna be a part 2 to this? Like what we're going now?
The crazy part is 8 months ago I started writing another book. Before this book came out.
Okay.
I just started writing another book and I just stopped for whatever reason. But going back, reading what I wrote now,
it's a
continuation of this. It's a different phase of this. But here's the thing. Let me tell you. This book is edited. And the reason I say edited, somebody edited. Nah. When I finished this book, when it was completed, I sent it to my mom. I said, read this, Mom. She read it. And there was some things in there she was like, hold up, son. I understand the testimony, but it needs to come out. So this book here, you got the 100, but like the 98.
Okay.
Because mom took 2% out of there. But seriously, but the part that she took, it's a part I would love to talk to you about. I can sit and talk to you. It's some stuff that it'll really help you. It'll make you feel comfortable with yourself. And that's what I get a lot with this book. It makes you comfortable with yourself, saying, okay, tpope, he went through this, and he had broke down home, and his dad went in his life, and
you spilled out
a lot of stuff. So, and I'm still smiling. That's the great thing about it, that I can still go out and smile and say, you know what? Through all of that, God still had his hand on my life. And he still has his hand over your life, no matter the situation. That's why I smile about this book. I mean, it's a good read, but when I think about this book, it represents my life. Like, who knew, like, a kid from a small town, lived on welfare, lived in projects, dad lived in the same city, never came seen him, ended up in the streets, called himself gang banging, went through all of that, lived in a broke down home, lived rats and roaches and leaks all in the house, eating vinyl sausages and noodles for spaghetti.
They forgot.
I mean, all of this stuff, and they embarrassed about it. But this book, that's what it represents. This is not an embarrassment. It represents, man, that was the grace of God that got us through that. And I'm still smiling, going speaking to so many people and connecting with so many people. That's the testimony in itself.
It is.
So people are excited. I'm be honest, people are excited about the book, but me, it's bigger than that.
It's bigger than that. All right, so tell people how they can go and grab your piece and how can they locate you for speaking engagements, things like that.
Okay, so this is gonna be easy. You can go to TerryPope.net, TerryPope.net, and it has all of the information you need to contact me. If you would like for me to come speak, if you would like to get my book, which is on Amazon and Barnes and Nobles, and you can connect with me. Again, that's TerryPope.net. I'm on Facebook, TerryPope. I'm on Instagram as TerryPope. I'm on Twitter as TerryPope. The real TerryPope on Twitter. And every social media outlet, you can contact me to get this book, to get me out, if you would like for me to speak. And I like to tell people, it's not just youth, I'm telling y'all. You will be amazed how many older people they're taking from this same information, for real. And they didn't get it, or they were overlooked or something. But if you need me to speak I'm open to speak anywhere, let me tell you.
Okay.
Everybody.
So from the church to the synagogue, hit up to schools, to colleges, to universities.
People, I said college, schools, churches, family reunions. It don't matter. If you need someone to speak and speak from the heart, hey, I'm here.
All right, so you heard it from TerryPope. We're gonna put all that information on there. You did tell them they can go on Amazon, correct?
Yeah, I told them Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, TerryPope.net. Go to TerryPope.net.
This boy got his own website. Yes, come through, folks.
Shout out. Look, I got a shout out to Amanda Granger on there.
Okay, that's what's up.
Yeah, y'all gonna see a lot of Amanda Granger. But go to TerryPope.net. You can link up and get this book. Also on that page, it keeps my schedule. So everywhere that I'm speaking at, like engagements in the future, which I have lined up already, is on that page. So get your event on that page too.
Right, that's right. All right, so you heard from the man, TerryPope, getting ready to do great things from the Black Belt of Alabama. Black Belt of Alabama. You got to believe in yourself that you can do anything, including going from a gangbanger to an author and motivational speaker. Thank you so much. Anything you want to say before we end?
Before we end, just don't be afraid to try different things. And yes, it's a lot of hard work, but life is a hard work if you want something. So don't look at God as it's going to take this miraculous type of effort. Nah, life going to take that period if you want anything. I just do it pleasing to God, and I hope you do the same.
All right, you heard from the man. Thank you guys for tuning in. See you next week. Bye-bye. Great job, man.